Hey, good afternoon, everybody. ¿Qué pedo? ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué tal? How you guys doing this afternoon? Kind of want to get right into the chart since we only have a few minutes until close. Looks like about 10 minutes until close here. And we will get right over to the charts then. All right, first taking a look over at AMC as we always do here. Looks like we just crossed below the middle VWAP here. So not very good news, but looks like we are fixing to come up and touch it again. I'll zoom in so you guys can see a little bit of buying pressure stepping in here. We're currently sitting at about $10.17. You know, we're still trading sideways for the last few days here. I'll just zoom out to a 5-day, 5-minute chart so you guys can see here. All the way back to the start of the week here, pretty much you know, a little bit of ups and downs, but kind of finishing right around this 10 to 10.50 range. So staying above $10 and just consolidating through there throughout the week, which is not a bad thing, right? Consolidation, we're moving sideways, and that's fine. We're not moving down as much as we were throughout last Friday. So what I'm seeing for the upcoming week here, we'll just jump right in. As we start to close here, I'll just kind of go back to the charts here. We'll take a micro zoom in and see. We started to pick up volume throughout the afternoon here. A little bit stepped in earlier today. This was about 12:30 Central, so 1:30 Eastern, and you know, we hit a high. Excuse me, right there at about 10:34. However, we are not crossing this top VWAP. Looks like we'll probably trade underneath the VWAP for the rest of the evening here. We'll see what after hours brings in, but again, I don't anticipate any big news catalyst to step into AMC until possibly next week here. We've got a long weekend as far as trading goes, with Friday being a holiday and us being off for Friday. So I don't think we're going to see any real news until probably Monday or Tuesday when they announce the box office numbers for Godzilla versus King Kong here. So we are probably going to float around here. I mean, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Every day is a new day, and something different can pop up. But you know, we're pretty much been trading sideways, minus a little bit of volatility in here through most of the week here this week. So closing out each day, you know, in that 1020, 1030 range, with today actually probably going to be our lowest close of the week here as it stands right now. So we're looking at a time frame of 5-day, 5-minute. I'll zoom out here. We did get a nice push up, and then we started to get a pullback, and now we're just consolidating here. So I anticipate that we will consolidate here throughout the week. Maybe we get some I just really don't think we're going to get too much buying pressure step in on Thursday at the end of the week. I mean, maybe people are going to step in for the average retail investor. I believe that they get paid either Thursday or Friday, and you know, a lot of people are investing every week, and I think that, you know, Friday would typically be that day where you might see a little bit more volume. However, I don't know that that is an accurate statement. If we were just to look at last week here, looks like we probably saw more volume on Thursday than we did on Friday, and that's more than likely attributed to the fact that we were down here in this low range of about sub $9 here, $8.93. So potentially why we see a higher volume on Thursday rather than Friday here. Friday was actually a big sell-off here. So I don't know. I anticipate that we will probably continue to trade sideways for a little bit. Stepping out here, I wanted to take a look at this 180-day chart. I was just kind of messing around with a few things. Still practicing on my technical analysis and learning. If you guys, if this is the first time you're watching the stream or the channel, welcome. This channel, I'm not a financial advisor. This channel is just to carry you along my journey of becoming a day trader, a successful day trader here. Today we actually made a successful 5% trade. Yesterday the same thing, another 5% trade. We're trading with very small portion sizes or position sizes here. Today was like $75 or something, so only a couple dollars profit. However, the percentage range is where I'm more concerned with, not the dollar cost. So just taking here and looking at a wedge here of where we stood back before we had the run up, and I typically take this out. I really do not like to use this high run up here. So even if I take that candle out, this trend line out here, right there, and we kind of stick to this one, right? So looking in, it looks as though we're trending on this upwards pattern here, um, and we will converge at some point, probably later next week. I think we'll continue on this trend line of about $10, maybe even dropping down a little bit more, but staying about $10 up until probably middle to the end of next week. That's at least the way that I see it. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Where do you think we're going to fall out next week? I think that we'll continue on up, and we might get a bounce off this line and continue a little upward trend. We're right now we're loading up. We've been loading up for a few days, and we'll start to take off next week. That's at least my personal opinion on the matter. Don't quite know. No one knows, right? However, I think that the information that we have suggests that we're still in good buy territory, that this is still a relatively good buy, especially if you can get it for sub $10 or even sub $9, although that it looks like that ship has sailed, and hopefully that is the end for us shareholders. Would like to think that that's it. Like, we're not going to see sub nines anymore, or in the future. However, if we do, we can take that time to buy in, as I did last week or earlier this week. When we did hit those ranges, I added to my position. Currently sitting at about 310 shares long, dollar cost average of 872. I think when I opened this position that I currently hold, I was about 840 something. So I've been averaging up the entire time, and it's that's okay with me. I'm cool with that. Normally I like to average down, but in this case, averaging down would not be a good thing. Usually I only average down when I'm ready to exit a position, as in this case I'm averaging up because I see the potential of AMC, and a lot of other capital management firms see the potential as well. I had a video that I released earlier today. If you guys wouldn't mind, go check it out. It's I'm still learning how to make videos. I'm new to YouTube, at least in this format of live streaming and making videos of day trading. And again, this is so that you guys can follow along my journey, and I'm willing to take any tips that you guys will give to me and learn along the way. So I'm currently reading books. I'm watching other YouTubers, Trades and Andrew Mo Money and Matt Kors and Is It a Buy and Denwo Trading and gosh, who else? Jeffrey Forbes. And then Ralph Castaneda. So I'm watching all these guys. And I'm learning skills from them along the way, right? Not only how to present a YouTube channel and how to talk about these positions, but technical analysis and fundamental trading as well. Ricky Gutierrez is another one that I really learned my technical analysis from. I became a member of the Learn, Plan, and Profit group a few years ago. Say that really quick, why don't you, right? So, I'm still learning. So if you guys want to follow me along, like the video, subscribe, and every day when I see a potential for a day trade or a swing trade, I'll enter in that position. It may be a small size, but you guys are following me along to see my journey. And so this is kind of the first time that I'm doing this wedge pattern here. Excuse me.
Mic off. Mic on.
This is the first time I'm using this kind of wedge pattern here. And it kind of indicates that we're on an upward bullish momentum here. We're trending upwards. So even though we're kind of rocking steady here right now, I think we're going to start to see as the days go on, we will start to trend back upwards and test that $11 range very, very soon. I don't think that it will happen tomorrow. More than likely, I think it's going to happen next week, especially if we get some really good news about box office numbers. I am planning to go see the movie this weekend just to help out AMC. Looks like we're moving up a little bit here right before close, so we'll take a micro look. Yeah, we're on the last minute or so of the trading day. Looks like we got 30 seconds until close, so we'll see where we can end at. Can we end above 1024, which I believe where we closed at 2 days ago? If we can end above 1034, which is where I believe we ended yesterday, that'd be super exciting. But we're right around that range, and that's totally fine. Not a lot of volume today. It's one thing I have noticed this whole week. It's been very low volume. Actually, volume's picking up for this last minute here as we close. It looks like we're closing about 1021. So down on the day From yesterday's close, about 1.35%. So not a huge marginal difference there between where we have closed over the last 3 days. So that is okay. Definitely okay with me. So we'll leave it up here for just a few moments, and then we'll talk about some other positions that that we've been watching out for the day, just to see how this next 1 minute closes in the after hours. If we're going to go up, down, or stay indecisive, which is where we looks like we currently stand. I think I missed out on a point I was trying to make a little bit ago, is that I made this video on hedge funds or capital investment groups buying into AMC. Quite large position sizes as well. Let me get my keyboard set up here. Got it set up for gaming, and right now it's a little low. So Charles Schwab, is it Charles Schwab? We can actually just pull it up here. I'll pull it up on the screen just so I have the most correct information. You would think, even though I made a video on it today, I would remember. But I want to get you guys the accurate information here, and we'll pull it up right here. So there was some talk yesterday that, and it looks like we've got, okay, that's old. Kind of freaked me out there. Goldman Sachs here. So not Charles Schwab, Goldman Sachs. Sorry, these guys have been in the news with the Archegos liquidation and all that stuff, the fire sale, them getting margin called. And yeah, so 12,305 shares that they are involved in. Now, what I do not know, and I'm asking for your guys' help who's watching this video, is when I go to the data here and I read this, it gives me information as of January 29th, 2021. It says, I'll just read the whole thing here, starting after the form. Disclosing ownership of 12,305 shares of AMC Entertainment Holdings, with total holdings valued at $163,164 US as of January 29th, 2021. So is this the end of the first quarter, and they're just now reporting this? Because from what my understanding is that they have, hedge funds have 40 or 45 days to report their positions once the quarter is closed. And would this be the end technically of fourth quarter, and now they're giving this information out? Although I don't know, you guys let me know what you think when they purchased these shares. I do not believe that they purchased these shares yesterday. However, we won't know, I guess, until the end of Q1, or until the 45 days after end of Q1. So anyhow, I got the link here. I think I've left it in the description box here if you guys want to go check this information out on Fintel for yourselves. New positions are indicated by green, and red. And closed positions are indicated by red. So you can see here that Goldman Sachs opened a new position here with these 12,000 shares, and Mainstay with 22,000 shares here. So these are the dates, the file dates of this 13F filing, which could mean that this is a long time ago that they entered these positions, and at this point they could have already exited these positions, to my understanding. Now, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But this is, excuse me, kind of the information that I'm learning along the way and trying to decipher on my own here. So let me know if I'm wrong or right, that these are positions that they held in the last quarter, and they're just now filing, and it's becoming released here. And at this point, they could have already closed these positions, and we just don't know. And others could have already added to these positions within this quarter, and we just don't know. Going back to the chart here, a little bit of a sell down here, but as we have seen for the last few days, I do not anticipate us really dropping below $10. We're finding really strong support between the 10 and 10.15 range, and I don't think that we are going to drop below that. Checking out some of our other positions here, you guys know that we entered a position for a swing trade a few days ago in AMTX, a fuel company. They make, we'll just read it off again for like the millionth time here. It's like an alternative fuels company and ethanol, stuff like that, biodiesel. So, development and commercialization of technologies that replace traditional petroleum-based products by conversion of its first-generation ethanol and biodiesel plants into biorefineries. So they're, biorefineries, and they're trying to commercialize a new technology to replace traditional petroleum-based products. Anyhow, going back to the chart, you see I have my limit order set up here, or sell order, my sell limit, up here at the 2807 mark. I will probably intend on bumping that up a little bit. As you can see, we only hold 2 positions long at 2670. And if we were going to look here, let's find 2670 really quick. $26.69, close enough, right? So that's roughly about 5% here, which would be our new all-time high on this stock. So I may bump it up just because it's a swing trade, and I want it to be more profitable, because it is a swing trade, rather than just take the typical 5%. So for a day trade, I'm looking for either a 2.5% or a 5% profit. More than likely, I want something that's within 5%, but I'm totally fine with taking a 2.5% profit, although I'm shooting for at least 5% profit on day trades. So this being a swing trade, I might look to wait it out a little bit longer, move my sell limit up a little bit higher. And the reasoning that we are in this position is because look at this. I mean, this is a 180-day chart. I'll just zoom back out here, and you guys can see the low of 76 cents. This is all the way back at the 180-day mark 6 months ago, and it had started to rise, and it's continued to rise the entire time. So a little bit, some pullbacks here and there, which is healthy, kind of ladder stepping it up here. And right now we went through a little pullback phase. When we entered this position was the day that they hit 27.44, the all-time high currently. And we knew that it would possibly be a swing trade because at this time, this run-up needed a pullback, and that's exactly what had happened over these past few days. Kind of pulled back and starting to making its run again here. So I anticipate over the next few days, possibly up until Tuesday or Wednesday, this position will have already have hit this all-time high and potentially even greater. So we will possibly remove this so that we can look for more profit here. Although it's only 2 shares in the position size, I am only trading this on these little small swing trade and day trades, just to practice my technical analysis and my swing and day trading skills. So that's currently where we're set there. I like to go over every position in the portfolio a couple times a day just so you guys know where we stand, because this is a journey about me learning this craft. We have been in this position for over 2.5 years, probably 3 years. One of the very first positions that I've held. And we'll go to the 1 day 1 minute. So some good news coming out this morning from Harley Davidson was that Wedbush and Baird both increased their price targets on Harley Davidson. Baird to $45 and Wedbush to $43. So we have seen over the last 180 days, we have jumped up and touched in this 43.47 is the high. We have jumped up and touched $43 a few times. So that's currently where I have my my sell limit or my sell order set. Guys, let me know what I would call this. I just call it a sell order. I would say this is a limit order if I'm buying, but yeah. Anyhow, so as it looks over this time frame, we went through some consolidation and we're starting to push over the last few days, and then we've got the good news this morning that really helped push this thing on upwards. So the main reason I'm looking to exit this position is, one, I want the capital to use elsewhere. We are holding 42 positions long with a dollar cost average of $40.85 or 86 cents. This is wrong here. I don't know why it says this. If this were accurate, we would not have a net loss here. We are up $107 on the day, and we are down overall in our position $31.66. This was a long-term hold for me. I've held this thing for, gosh, it's been a while. But as you can see way down here, this what am I looking at here? Not the drawing I was looking for here. Going to the 3-year trend here, you can see, we were kind of trading back and forth, and I thought, there's some potential here. So when it did drop down, I bought it at 40, thinking, 40 to 46 would be a nice little number here, and I think it was actually higher than that because I'm pretty sure I purchased before 2018, or maybe it was an 18 year. However, regardless, we have since trended downwards, and I've just been holding on, collecting the dividend up until this past year when we had the pandemic with a massive sell off here, all the way down to 1431. And instead of averaging down like I should have, I just kind of stayed away from the market. My whole portfolio was down 50%. My entire portfolio was down 50%. So I just kept investing into my savings accounts and left my portfolio alone for the entire year of 2020. And once Wall Street bets picked up and things, it just renewed my interest into the market. I've always kind of kept an eye on it, but when you open up your TD Ameritrade app and you see that your portfolio is down 50% entirely, it's not a good feeling. So I should have just averaged down, but I did not. So looking to exit here. They did reduce their dividend. It's actually down 240% from the previous year. We don't know if it's going to go back up. Sales are doing pretty good. Sales are doing very well. I have visited the local Harley dealership here in town. I own a Harley. I've owned many Harleys, and if you watch this channel, you know the reasons why I like Harley so much, and it's because of their future potential EV plays. However, I am just kind of ready to exit this position and possibly use this money in my portfolio, since this is designated towards long-term and dividend investment side of my portfolio, like my AT&T play is. I will probably find another position that has a good dividend yield. And, unfortunately, Harley Davidson's just not the one. So we're getting a little bit closer to us making a profit here, and we have collected dividends over the years. So we're getting, and holding this thing for a few years, the taxes will be a lot lower. So we will look to exit this position. Got a price target set here of a $43.20, which I believe is my 5% range, if I'm looking correctly. At 40, I had 84. We'll just go 84 up there. So a little over 5.5%, right? So I'm cool with that. Moving on down to RKT. We only own 2 shares, and this one, we were chasing it. However, the good news with this position was, and this is potentially the reason for the increase right here, was that, and it probably won't even show up here. We went over this many times. They had a dividend that's not showing up here, but they did have a dividend of $1.11 per share that they paid out on March 9th, I believe. The ex-dividend date of March 8th, 2021. Fortunately, we got in probably at the last, at pretty much a late time, but we were able to gain the dividend for our 2 shares. Currently, we are at a net loss of $13.12. So not mad there. Only entered 2 positions. 1, I didn't know about the dividend. It's not anywhere. You have to really look it up. And 2, I knew we were chasing this thing. So I thought there may be some squeeze potential here or something. I wasn't really sure. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just throw a couple dollars in there. Whatever happens, happens. And so we're just kind of bag holding at the moment here. So kind of turning around. At some point, I may average down this position size just to get it a little bit more reasonable for us to get back to a point to sell. Because right now, we are about $7 away from where we want to sell at. So if I can average down, I'll probably take the time to do so. And if they release another dividend, like that $1.11 dividend, which was a special dividend, I doubt they'll do it again. But it was something to do with the way that they increase profit or their margins over the year, then I'll be happy and I'll take it. Moving on to Sins. You guys know, if you watch Trace Trades, what's the deal with Sins here. It looks like we've just been kind of trading sideways. Had a nice little pullback here. I like to keep some price levels here set, some trend lines set. And the reason I do so is so when we do have these little wrap-up talks, and I can kind of show you newcomers why I'm in the position and what the potential in the position is. And you see I had to lower. I'm from way back here. If I lower it from even here now, and we see this for whatever reason. I think this was around the time that they got FDA approval on their 180-day continuous glucose monitoring system or device, CGM. You see they hit a high of $5.90. So the potential is there if we can get back to that point very soon of about 117%. Now that's the bull maximum percentile that I am saying from this moment currently. And if we just kind of hit a range of in here where we did see the pullback and we kind of bounced back here at 449, that's the bear minimum here. I'm going to say that's a percentage increase of 65.34%. So there's our bear minimum and our bull maximum numbers here. So somewhere in this range, and even if you just take from a little baseline here, somewhere in there, you're looking at about 45.23% for the bear minimum. So BEAR minimum, guys. We always like to do that. We like to show when we're talking about upside, we like to show a bear minimum and a bull maximum. Moving on to our AT&T position, this is quite far one of the largest positions in our stock. Going back to Sens, guys, I'm not very too big on this, only 87 long, so currently down about $94 here. Dollar cost average of 375, so got it right after the run up here, thinking when it pulled back it was going to launch back up, and it quite did, but fell down. So didn't quite reach the potential that I thought it was going to continue upward, but it did not. So we're just bag holding for the moment, which is fine. Guys, do some research in Sens, and you'll see that they don't have very many competitors in that CGM market or CGM system market there. I think their nearest competitor has like a 3-day, and they already have I think it's a 90-day. 90, 180, and 365. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But go check them out. Do your own DD on this company. Could be a very good long-term play. And if you guys are familiar with Trey's trades, you'll know that this is one of the areas one of the positions that he's big on. So, I have diabetics in the family, and I thought, you know what, that's actually a very smart play here. I'll throw a couple $100 in there, and we'll just see what happens, right? Moving on to AT&T, we hold long 108 positions at a dollar cost average of $28.98. Currently up about 138 net profit in the position. Down on the day, $49. We were up about 6% in this position here when we started the day. However, not sure if there was some news that we took a hit. I don't know if this has anything to do with AT&T here. Looks like they're possibly paying off some debt here, and that could be the reason. I'll do some more research on why AT&T is taking a fall today, but definitely has some something to do with this Liberty Media Corporation announces quarterly interest payment and excess regular cash dividend amount on 2.25% exchangeable senior debentures due 2046. So as I know, and if you don't, AT&T is one of the, if not the most debted company or debt company. They have the highest debt, is what I'm trying to say, of any company in the world. So it's billions of dollars that they have in debt with their acquisitions of Time Warner Cable, DirecTV, and things of that sort. But the reason we are in this play is because of their massive 7.23% dividend yield, or 7.23 dividend yield here. So very good dividend. Currently $2.08 per share annually. And it's gone up even in the year 2020. Our Lord and Savior, Valentino Rossi, it has went up. So I'm in it for long-term play, dividend. I think it does have some upside potential. Man, that just looks pretty nasty there. Although when you look at it zoomed in, it's really not that bad. I mean, looks like it's barely, maybe 2%. Yeah, not even 2%. So not bad. I mean, is what it is. Um, a little bit of a pullback, but we were on a nice little run for the last 5 or 6 days here. So looking back at the 180-day chart, actually I can even go to the 1 year chart here, and you can see I have a target, a price level set here, all the way up here at $39.50, whereas a potential for us to exit this position just to take these profits here. Although, when that time comes, we'll see. Going on to the 3 year, this is the reason why. Big sell here in February 24th of 2020. So we all know anything that kind of happened around the pandemic mostly is attributed to the pandemic itself, and a lot of businesses will eventually rebound and kind of get back up to where they were at. That's at least my personal opinion, and that's where I think that they'll end up. So when we start looking here at the bare minimum and the bull maximum here, currently with where we're trading at, and we were here already a few days ago, so my line is actually still valid here. Looking at the bare minimum, you're looking at about 10% here. That's just the height over here that we had earlier this year, or at the middle of last year as I was. Well, I've got that thing set there. If I can look, that looks like it is around May to June. So right around June 6th, June 8th. So that June 8th, we see big push up here. These are 1 week candles here. So 1 week up and 1 week back down. But potential is there for the at least that. If not, if we go all the way back here and kind of a low point to where we were trading at, I think the bare minimum could be over here, which is about 12, 13, 14% there. So 13.5%, right? The bare minimum about 13.5%, and the bull maximum up here all the way back up at 31%. So with potential, high potential for a bull maximum of 31% and dividend of yield of 7.23, I'm fine with holding this thing for 6 months, a year, 2 years, as long as we don't see a massive push downward because of their debt. But it's just one of the companies we'll keep up with. So this is a huge portion size for my portfolio. Only just under $10,000 in my portfolio. Not a lot, but it's been growing over the last few years. I try to stay diversified and not put everything into the market. Put a lot of stuff in savings, multiple savings accounts, and other assets of that sort. So that's our positions for the day here. We did make a profitable day trade on VTSI yesterday. We'll take a look here. We'll actually look on the 1 day, 1 minute. As you can see, they pushed up quite a bit. We only got 5% out of the trade, only one share, so it was only like 64 cents or something crazy, 65 cents. Wasn't anything massive, but what we were looking for was everything to check our boxes, right? When my strategy on a day trade, or possible swing trade, is that one, we want to see the volume compared to its regular volume, right? Again, we did see some volume candles reaching into the almost 2 million here, and if not, this one was 2 million, almost 3 million in here on this massive sell-off right there. But on this buy, we see good volume here, and when you compare it to previous days, well, that is yesterday. If I were to go back, you would see the volume even lower. I mean, not even on the charts, right? So massive amount of volume in the stock, and there was a news catalyst, which I think was earnings. And this company, I believe that they make simulators for military and police education. So they beat earnings, and so they had volume. They were trending upwards, and they had a news catalyst, or a catalyst of some sort would happen to be news. So it checked the boxes. We made our 5% in and out, boom, boom, like that. And today, however, we traded, I almost want to say Wagyu, but it's WAFU, W-A-F-U, which if you guys have been following any stock scans over the past few days, you'll notice Chinese education companies and institutions are going crazy. They're like this week's NFT. So we see a high today of 1595. I think we got out at 1509. In and out somewhere around here. Actually, where were we at? Geez, I can't remember where we were at now. We bought in. It was early this morning. If you guys watched the feed, it was closer to the end. I actually ended off the live stream once we successfully closed out that trade in that position. And it kept moving on up after that. It actually dropped off dramatically. So this is, I think, where we sold out. It dropped off. It trended back upwards, which I thought it would. I even said earlier today that I think that before power hour, like somewhere in the mid-afternoon, right after lunch, we're going to see this thing continue to climb back up and reach a new high. And sure enough that they did. And then a massive sell-off, and then it's kind of reset. So this is almost like the EEIQ stock. And if you were to go back a few days and see that they hit first, you can see low of 358 all the way to $70, and then just this is all over after hours. They were halted like 4 or 5 times here in the early morning hours, and then still kind of traded up. So there was some potential here to make some money, but very, very volatile. I stayed away from this play. I did watch it closely, and instead I entered into VTSI, which I thought was a safer trade. So that was our trade for the day. So currently I've knocked out 2 of my trades. I'm still under the PDT rule, pattern day trader rule, which means you can only make 3 turnaround trades or round trip trades, 3 buy and sells in the same day 3 times. If you do it the 4th time, you're in violation. So, or maybe if you can do it 4 times, and the 5th time you're in violation. I'm pretty sure I just stick to do it 3. You can do it 3 and you're good, and I just leave it alone at that. Anyhow, just look at PDT rule, guys, if you don't know what it is. But since we are currently under the PDT rule, which means we do not have more than $25,000 in our brokerage accounts, we get 3 day trades, 3 round trip day trades. So we've already knocked out 2 for the week. We've got 1 more, and if something pops up on the scan tomorrow, then we will look to trade it. I will keep an eye on WAFU, WAFU. I added it to the watch list, and we can take a quick look. I do want to kind of see how things are doing in the watch list because we haven't checked that today at all. And FSR looking okay. Got a little bounce back from its low of 1582, and I wish I would have watched it yesterday. I don't even think I checked on it yesterday. It's a long-term EV play for me that I do like. So potential there that I exit my position in Harley Davidson and enter a position in FSR. Although it is a risky play here. The Fisker Ocean is their SUV EV that is coming out for the 2022 model year. Don't actually know when it will be released, but they are taking reservations for like $250 or $280. Comes with a 30,000 mile per year lease agreement and free maintenance and checkup tune-ups. So cool looking car. I won't take up too much time to go show you guys the photo there. Let's see. We actually did take a look at CRSR yesterday, and man, it continued to move up throughout the day. This was another one that we were looking to trade. However, we did not. Actually, we haven't looked at this one in quite some time here, but this is actually one that I probably should have looked at. Doing okay, actually. Only up about 3 cents from close of yesterday. But yesterday would have been a good day to hop in here. Let's take a look here from its low point up to its high point there. 6%, not bad. I mean, it would have taken a long time to get to that 6%, it looks like. Maybe it's just the way that we're looking at the chart here, but that would have taken you 1 hour to get there. So anyhow, we were actually looking at CSCW, and I think this is another NFT play that we were watching out for to see if there's potential here. If you guys know or have watched, TCAT was the big NFT play as of last week. That and DLPN, Dolphin Entertainment. TCAT just been slowly bleeding out, stair-stepping, I mean, just all the way down. So not really interested in that. We were just kind of watching to see if this one was going to peak, but it looks like it already did. From here, so we saw this run up in the after hours here, the pre-market, and then it just massively sold off and hasn't done much since. So not really looking too hard in that. But we're going to watch to see if this thing trends upward, because there could be some potential that this thing could run from like $2 all the way up to $70 that we've seen TCAT do and other plays like DLPN, Dolphin Entertainment. So as you can see here, from $5 to $38, and from the old TCAT here, from $5 to $74. So that's one of the reasons that we were watching this CSEW. AMTX, we actually hold a position in. Forward, not really doing too much since it hit the high. We actually closed our position, our 3 or 4 year long position that we held in forward, for a profit of about 23%. We closed it out in February, somewhere about above $12. C and K actually down for the last 10 days, so not doing too hot here on the old C and K. I won't even go over the bare minimum and the bull maximum on this, and unless somebody pops into the chat in the next like 30 seconds and says, hey, I want to see it. But since I usually oh, that's okay, since I only have really one viewer most of the time, doesn't matter. Carnival Cruise Lines, after some bad news last week about the ships not being able to set sail until possibly after November, had a bit of a sell-off here. So starting to trend back upwards here, and actually potentially a good price to buy in at. What we're going to do here, so we're actually going to look on the 3-year chart here, and I'm going to give you guys some outlooks here. Now, this is a very risky play, because if they're not allowed to set sail up until November, that means there's a lot of capital and revenue that they're out. You know, they're out a lot of money, and I don't know if the government is really bailing them out with PPP or anything. I'm not really sure what's in these stimuluses that they get give out, because I don't qualify for them. So, anyhow, looking over here, right, and what we're going to look at is 3 different options. I don't even know what to call the middle option here, but we're going to look at the bare minimum, BEAR minimum here, and from where we currently stand here at a price point of about $26. Actually, did I mark it on the right? Wow. I'm trying to get it right where we're at. I'll leave it there, 26.59. It's close enough. So for our, the reason I put it here is this is the pandemic, and this is before the pandemic, where we're trading at kind of down, right? And this could be, you know, earlier in the year that cruises just aren't happening as much. In the summertime, it kind of will trend back upwards. No, not really. Nope. This is summertime here, so don't why it trended down if it was just a market correction or whatever was going on with the company. However, what we do know is that this was a line of support for us here. We bounced off of it once, and then when we got close, we pushed underneath it once as well. So I will say, and this is a 1-week chart, so if I were to really zoom in here, break it down hourly, we probably bounce off these lines a couple of times. So I'm using this as our support line, and for our bare minimum here, looking like 49%. For our bull maximum at this high that we've had over the last 1 year, or as I was 3 year, we're looking at about 153%. Now again, it's a very risky play, because we don't know when the cruisers are going to set sail, but potential is there for some profit. Just be wary that it is very risky here. Maybe I'll make a video on Palantir and what's going on with the lawsuits, but right now we won't really focus on it. We'll look over at SNDL. We didn't get to go through a lot of these this morning, so I'm going to go through them now. In SNDL, we are a bag holder because we thought marijuana stocks would be a good play. We thought they were finally starting to pop off. The reason why I invested in 2017, why I opened my brokerage accounts, and my first one I still have open, TD Ameritrade. The reason why I started investing in 2017 was because I think that the future is EV and marijuana. Yeah, it sounds like some hippie talk, but it's the truth. We are slowly starting to finally transition into EVs and marijuana is slowly starting to become legal recreationally. So I never entered into a pot stock position, and if I were to go back here to 2017, to my original stock list here, and some of them like Tesla are gone, and a few others are gone for some reason. Some of them actually I got out of here because they're no longer around. Um, I might have closed out some of my cannabis watches here just because like, well, it's not the time. I think this is a yep, Canopy Growth Corporation. This one too, Aurora Cannabis. Um, Abbey V, I'm pretty sure is a cannabis company as well. Biopharmaceutical company. I actually don't know if they have anything to do with marijuana at all. Not sure why I was watching this. Possibly because of the dividend here. Looks like they're up 9.32% year over year from 2019 to 2020, with a dividend of actually 2021 to 2020. Current dividend annually of $4.96, which is a yield of about 4.4. So, not a bad dividend there. Actually, I want to go to the chart and look at this one. So, I'm kind of glad that I left this on. And we'll go all the way back to a 3-year here. Kind of glad that I left it here. Um, Not doing too bad. So going all the way back to 2013, which is looking like possibly where they got their IPO started, incorporated in 2012. So yeah, IPO'd in 2013 it looks like, and consistent run up here. When did I start watching? 2017. So probably around this time, and I was waiting. Um, for something to happen. It looks like we pulled back here, so we can actually reanalyze this position here, and let's just take a look here. Maybe I don't want to go that route. What if I go this route here? No. What if I just go this route here? No. Yeah, see, I don't really do that. So what I do like to look at is I like to set some levels of resistance and support and see where we could potentially get back to, especially if we're on an uptrend, right? So 116, currently sitting at 108, so about $8 a share here. Not bad, but this is the all-time high of 125.86. So if we push past this, we could keep going up, and who knows? I'd have to actually do some fundamental analysis here and look at their financials to really determine whether or not it would actually be a good play. But decent little dividend. So yeah, I know I got on a rant, but that's the reason why I opened my account was I knew that marijuana is the future, especially hemp, when you get into hemp products, and but there's so many things you can make out of hemp, and with us, legalizing hemp products, there should be some good companies to invest in. However, so many out there, and it's hard to know which ones are the right ones. And then Tesla as well. I've been watching Tesla since way back then. At the time, I felt like it was cost too much money to enter, so I entered into small position sizes, or a little bit at a time, right? So I was a couple $100 here and there, and to buy one share of Tesla at the time, I want to say was like $200. And I don't even know if this is going to show. If I were to go back to 2017 here, excuse me, because it says $50, but I swear when we were looking at this, it was my brother and I kept telling about it. I swear it was in the 200s, but it was in oversold territory at the time, and it did nothing but increase from there. And now we're going through a bit of a pullback here, so quite frankly, possibly about time that we actually do see a pullback on Tesla. So we might actually have a little bit farther to go down before we reach our 50% on the Fibonacci retracement. But a lot of tech stocks are taking a beating right now. Anyhow, let's see. Looks like we've been going for about 49 minutes. I don't want to take this too long. Just kind of going over some positions that I was watching in 2017 and kind of seeing how valid these positions may still be. Going back to 17 here, looking like we were around, man, AMD, hot stock. I'm certain, I would imagine, I'm almost for sure that AMD's had a stock split, because Tesla has had a stock split, and I wonder if that shows in the price range here, because I don't remember AMD being this cheap, or I possibly would have bought in. But if we're looking at Tesla, I swear to you, Tesla was in the $200 range in 2017, and this shows it in the $70 range. So I don't think that that's really accurate. I think because of the stock split, it kind of skews the numbers here. So what do you know? What do you know? This is quite an odd one here. This is my 2017 stock watch list, and I've got Pfizer on here. I wish I could see the date that I actually added Pfizer. There could be a potential that I added this thing well after the fact. Or it could be because of the dividend. When I started investing, it was mostly for dividends, right? I was looking for anything, above like 4%, and dividend yield of 4.12 here currently, which is up. So this dividend yield would have been higher back then. Looking all the way back to 2017, and honestly, not the rise you would think with them having a vaccine for the world's largest pandemic virus. So kind of odd that it's the price has not jumped up even more than what it has, and it hasn't really. It's actually was higher back in 19. So did somebody between this range know more than we did about something? I don't know. Doubt it. It didn't actually go up, so it doesn't make any sense. Sorry, no conspiracy there. Callaway, we were already in and out of that. Talked about it a couple times. I think 10% owner of Top Golf. So if you guys like golf, could be a good company. They've really done okay, but kind of volatile. So this is actually the pandemic here, and then they kind of got back on trend. So not too bad. Anyhow, don't want to hold you guys up too much longer here. Trying to keep this one nice and short. Because frankly, I think I need to take my dog for a walk, and I'm ready to hop on some games, some Tarkov possibly. And I've got a book that I need to keep on reading if I ever want to finish it. So anyhow, thank you guys for watching the stream. Hope you learned something, and if you know something that I missed out on the stream that I can learn, let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Don't really care. You guys do you. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and peace out.